Satchidananda. Om Shanti Om. Sing together. Om Shanti Satchidananda. Om Shanti Shanti Satchidananda. Om Shanti to this perfect imperfection, awakening in the oneness of it all. Everybody part of each other, sister and brother, rising in love. Shanti Satchidananda. Om Shanti Satchidananda. Om Shanti Om Shanti Satchidananda. We are awakening. Men, sing that with me. We are awakening. We are awakening. Awakening. We are awakening. Women with Deva.
We are awakening. We are awakening.
And bringing the voices together. We are awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening, awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening. Awakening, awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening. We are awakening.
I've heard it said that we're small and alone on our path, but my mind is set on a life greater than that. And my heart is open wide. My heart will be open wide. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that. I am that. All the joy and love that a life can hold. I am that. I am that. All that's good. All that's good. Some say the answers I seek are found on my knees, but I listen inside to the whisper, I'm all that I need. And my heart is open wide. My heart will be open wide. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that. I am that. All the joy and love that a life can hold. I am that. I am that. All that's good. Oh, all is for me. Oh, I am worthy. I am worthy. Oh, all is for me. Oh, I am worthy. I am worthy. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that. I am that. All the joy and love that a life can hold. I am that. I am that. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that. I am that. All the joy and love that a life can hold. I am that. I am that. All that's good. All that's good.
Amor, 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 yo creo en ti. Amor, 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 yo creo en ti. Yo creo en la luz del mar. Yo creo en la luz del corazón. Yo creo en la luz del mar. Yo creo en la luz del corazón. sana, sana, sana con la luz de los maestros. Limpia, 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 conectando a la tierra. A la ley de mi servitai. Verdad, 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 yo creo en ti, verdad, 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 yo creo en ti, yo creo en la confianza para curar. Yo creo en la luz de mi altar. Yo creo en la confianza para amar. Yo creo en la luz de este altar. Sana, 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 sana confianza en tu corazón. Limpia, 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 limpia los miedos. Sana, 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 yo confío en mi corazón. Limpia, 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 limpia la tradición para amar más profundo. Ah, la, lay, lay, la, la, lay.
Last night a mockingbird was calling, a song only sung by day. The night was filled with that bird's offering anyway. Whenever it is, it's right on time, even though it might seem late to some. Out of season without a rhyme, that's when love comes. A purple October morning, the south yields to the north. The fall can come without warning, as time calls forth. And even when tears outrun the rain, so that they blur out the sun, just when the wind's spinning the weather vane, that's when love comes. Almost 7 years after the storms have moved on, was a damn long time without laughter. But how's a second hand to know the time? Only a heart knows when it's done. Yanking and pulling on this tug-of-war line. That's when love comes. That's when love comes. That's when love comes. That's when love comes.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity Columbine Spiritual Center, where centered in God, we celebrate a world of harmony, peace, and abundance for all. Please stand for our first joy song.
With a life overflowing and a heart full of
I think I don't even have to say, but all the kids are welcome to come up. Come on up. Yeah. Awesome. You can just stand right here. We have some people that are new friends today. Yeah, you can just hang right here with me. Awesome. Wow. This is really fun. So we had a great table or treat last week with you guys. It wasn't truck or treat because it was snow. I don't know if you guys heard about that. So we came in and we had the best time with you guys. It was so fun. And I found that I think the adults enjoy the fun of the decorating and all that as much as the kids. So next year we're on to you. Okay. We got it. So anyways, we have a lot to do because next week is our 30th anniversary, and the week after that is going to be our Thanksgiving. So we've got some surprises up our sleeve that you guys don't know about, but we're going to go work on those. So I think, come on up, guys. So I think you can bless us out.
We love you. We bless you.
We appreciate you. We see the Christ you are.
And you shine so bright, and you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. All right, stand again. We're going to sing about the strength of love. All that I am today, all that I bring today, I know that it's enough. Oh, I am born from the strength of love. Big breath, everybody. I am breathing the strength of love. I am breathing the strength of love. Now in this holy air, every thought is prayer. May we be lifted up. Oh, I am breathing the strength of love. I am blessing the strength of love. Oh, I am blessing the strength of love. I bring it forth today, sending it on its way out to the hills above. Oh, I am blessing the strength of love. Last line. Oh, I am blessing the strength of love.
Thank you so much. Full Moon Eye, Chris and Kelly, and also with John and Stephen here today with us. Thank you so much. And now that song was a beautiful segue into our meditation time, where we will be going inside and settling our energy and blessing whatever it is we want to bless for this meditation time. So we will have music, and then we will have prayer and meditation by Reverend Scott.
Oh, gently lay your head upon my chest, and I will comfort you like a mother while you rest. And The tide can change so fast, but I will stay the same through the past, the same in the future, the same today. 'Cause I am constant, I am near, I am peace that shatters all your secret fears. I am holy, I am wise, I am the one that knows your heart's desires, your heart's desires. Oh, weary, tired, and worn, let out those sighs and drop that heavy load you hold, for I am light. Yes, I am through and through. There's no need to hide, for I am love that is deep, high, and wide. 'Cause I am constant, I am near, I am peace that shatters all the secret fears. I am holy, I am wise, I am the one that knows your heart's desires, your heart's desires. Oh, gently lay your head upon my chest, and I will comfort you like a mother while you rest.
In Unity, when we refer to meditation, we often say it's resting in the Spirit. And so today I invite you to join me as we rest. And resting in the Spirit means letting go of thinking. And so we become present to this moment. So take a moment to feel your butt in the seat, to feel your feet on the ground. Come here and now. It is the moment where we have the most impact. And as usual, there's a lot going on out in the world around us. And so we gently extend our love from this place of presence, this place of being here right now, right here. We extend love to everyone in this community that is hurting in some way or needing healing. Simply by being present. In presence, we connect with who and what we are as a spiritual being, which is beyond our comprehension of how powerful that is in its love, in its ability to heal. And so we take a moment to simply blanket the world with our presence. Allowing this moment to unfold in its wonder, in its freshness, in its surprise. And for the next several moments, we'll rest by connecting with the silence. And if we find ourselves moving down the road in thought, we simply come back to this moment in the silence.
In the middle of the night, in the middle of the fight, in the middle of the storm, in the center of the heart, the water's still, the waves are cold. Somehow there's peace in an ocean of wrong. When the bow is breaking down, when the madness is raining all around, there's a quiet that is there in the sea of despair. in the middle of the wood, drive the nails of brotherhood. In the cry of his pain, there's release of all the blame. The water's still, the waves are calm. Somehow there's peace in an ocean of wrong. When the bow is breaking down, when the madness is raining all around, there's a quiet that is there in the sea of despair. The water's still, the waves are calm. Somehow there's peace in an ocean of wrong. When the bow is breaking down, when the madness is raining all around, there's a quiet that is here in the sea of despair. Rest is waiting. The storm is ceasing.
Storm is ceasing.
Hope is knowing.
For the one or two people here today who do not already know this man, Reverend Scott Shell has returned from the mountains to grace us with his presence and his message today, and he shepherded this group and guided and coached us for 17 years. Thank you, Scott.
I'm wearing my name tag today because you may remember last time I was here, it said the old minister. Now it says Minister Emeritus. Much better, right? So I have the treat today to continue a series that Sue has been doing on the 5 invitations. Not a consecutive series. I think she's been peppering it through the year. Oh, by the way, and I won't be saying this name. I'm probably going to bastardize this name, and I will not be saying it again during the talk, but it's by Frank Ostaseski, something like that. I'll be referring to him as Frank. The subtitle of this book is Discovering What Death Can Teach Us About Living Fully. And I love this. There's a wonderful African proverb that says, "When death finds you, may it find you alive." Really important. Because you see, we come forward with so much stuff that tells us we can't, or that we have to live a certain way, or whatever, that we're not really open to what life is offering us in the moment. So what have you guys looked at so far? Oh, let me also say one thing. And there may be more of you in the room, but Betty Hauserman and I participated in a 8-day death retreat this summer. It was powerful, more powerful than I ever could have imagined. But one thing that really stuck with me that the presenter emphasized is that while we're here on this planet in an earthly human experience, we have the greatest opportunity to work with issues in our consciousness because we have a body, because we have hands and feet, because we're interacting with other people. It's not that growth of our consciousness ends when we die. Remember, consciousness is the only thing that goes on with us when we die. It's not that it stops growing, but it can be much harder to discover what it is in our consciousness that is holding us back because we don't have that same kind of interaction that we have here. It's not mirrored to us by our relationships or whatever else is going on in our lives. So again, when he says that using death to really inspire us to live our life fully, it's a great opportunity that we have here, not something to be postponed. So what have you guys covered so far? There are 3 invitations. The first one, by the way, the book is the 5 invitations, so you've covered 3. Don't wait. Welcome everything. Push away nothing. Bring your whole self to the experience. And then today, we're handling find a place of rest in the middle of things. What's interesting about rest is most of us would say that we welcome rest. As you get older, it's harder to rest. I'm finding harder to sleep a whole night. But what's interesting is while we'll speak that we welcome rest, that we're ready for rest, unconsciously most of us resist rest. Especially in a culture like ours. Our country is nicknamed "Just Do It." Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You can make it happen in your life. And as a result, we often build our identities around being busy. Busyness says we're somebody, says we're important, says that we're needed. Busyness says that we have a purpose. It helps to compensate for insecurities that we may be feeling inside. And so the truth is, it's much harder to really rest. And when we say rest, we're not so much talking about laying down for the night and sleeping. We're talking about a rest that comes to us at an emotional level and at the level of, our nervous system, an emotional level, really being able to relax. Why is it important that we relax? Our nervous system is designed to charge up when it needs to, and then to fully relax. But if we're always busy, and also if we always have a plethora of stimulus in our life, our nervous system doesn't get to fully relax. And that then impacts our musculature, it impacts our mental health. We don't live a particularly good life when we can't rest. I have so many quotes that I always think I should kind of be looking down to see if I've already missed one. here's something that Frank says, giving us an indication into what it means to rest. If we want to experience true rest, we need to see the situations that disrupt us. Yet recognition is only the beginning. To make real change, we have to dive deeper to understand the specific ways that we have been conditioned throughout our lives. Then we can address the underlying causes of our internal distress or lack of restfulness. So here's where we're getting into the rub of it. We can't just say, okay, Scott talked about rest today, I'm going to go home. I'm dedicated to rest now. Because what are we doing there? We're just doing more efforting. Okay, I'm going to effort to rest now. And what Frank is beautifully pointing out is, if we're having trouble resting, then there is something in our unconscious that needs to be addressed. Some hurt, something that, unhealed, some hurt, something that just won't let us settle, that needs to be looked at. And often it's good to understand that unrest, if it's not addressed, can often manifest as a voice inside of our heads that's feeding us with ideas about how we're unworthy or we can't do it, things that are limiting our ability to really be the fullness of what's possible in our lives. So let's take a look at some of the things then that can support us. Oh, and another important piece, all we really need to do from Frank's standpoint, and I don't disagree, is learn to live in the moment. The moment is always revealing. And most of us don't really want that revelation, so our egos keep us thinking about the past, wondering about the future, but not really landing in the moment. So, what are then the things that we can do in our lives to begin to orient ourselves to hanging out in the moment? And one of those is to develop a daily practice or daily practices that bring you back to the moment. For example, when I was younger in my spiritual path and working with a teacher, the teacher encouraged me to get one of those watches that beeps. I still haven't figured out if you can make our newfangled watches do it, but I can't remember if it beeped every hour or every 30 minutes. But every time it beeped, I just paused. Now, I might even be in a phone call, right? And you can still be engaged in a phone call, but pause for a second and check out, where are you? Can you feel your butt in the chair? Or are you off in your head somewhere? Are you full of anxiety and fear because of something that's going on? Or are you feeling deficient or inadequate? Where are you? And if you can come back, often in taking that breath, right? Let's take a breath now. Yeah. It brings us back into the moment. And here's what I found fascinating. After several months of that happening, I began to recognize that if I was going to stay present to the moment, I couldn't multitask, that there was no multitasking in the moment. I also began to trust the moment more, because more and more things were getting done during the day than I ever imagined. The other piece that was fascinating was that I had my own little business at that time. I started actually turning away business. It became clear to me what was mine to do and what was not mine to do. All of it from what? Being in the moment, which opens us up to the resources of who and what we are as a spiritual being. And spirit is all-knowing, all-compassionate, all-understanding. And so my ego is thinking that, I need to produce and do and be efficient. And actually, as I oriented to the moment, Spirit was doing the work. It's the Christ within that does the work. Another quote. Rest is found when we are present instead of letting our minds wander aimlessly through the hallways of fear, worry, and anxiousness. Rest comes when we become more by doing less, when we don't allow the urgent to crowd out the important. It's a result of decluttering of the mind and decoupling from fixed views. Rest is Sabbath, when we stop and turn to worship the possibilities of the ever-fresh moment. I love that. And can you feel the rest in that? And so breathing is another important practice. Breathing does so many things. When we take a breath, we interrupt that narrative that's going on or the story that we're telling ourselves. We can also really focus on breath. For example, when I broke my ankle several years ago, we were in Estes Park. It was a snowy night. There was no one around. I was laying on the ground for at least 30 minutes, maybe 40, freezing and in incredible pain. And I started to think, I'm not sure I'm going to survive this. And then I started to breathe and just focused on nothing but the breath, in and out, and the pause at the end of it. And before I knew it, there's a car driving by. And I'm, laying on the ground, but waving my hands like a snowman, because it's snowing like crazy. Then they went and got the men. And one of the presenters I'm a teacher in the Ridwan School. He and I turned out years later to be in the same seminary class, but intuitively, he brought his face right to my face. And he said, breathe with me. And that, it was okay to breathe by myself, but when someone else is willing to breathe with you, because it took another 15 minutes for the paramedics to get there, it kind of blew my mind. So, if you're one of those people that thinks, well, I don't want to get in someone's space, I don't know. Trust. See, a big thing about resting is we're coming to trust, right? Because the ego's going to say, stay busy, you got to... It's all about trusting. So if someone's hurting, come in close. If they're struggling, encourage them to breathe. Stuart and I are having some work done on our house. We have log railings around our house, and some of them are rotting, and so we're having some new railings put in. And the crew that's doing it is struggling with a stairway. I don't know. I think 3 crews have been out. Now, we're working with a contractor that has lots of crews. He said they've done logs before. And in fact, I should have brought a picture. It looks pretty good on the straightaways, but the stairway, every time I go out there, it's shoddy. And I went out. This last team told me, no, we've got it, So I said, okay. I went out, and I felt a lot of frustration. And frustration is anger. It's just toned down maybe a little bit. But so I looked at it, and I start marching back into the house, and I catch myself. I go, oh, wait, I'm feeling anger here. And anger most often is covering up something that we don't want to feel. Because, see, anger's outward. Damn them. So I took a breath. That's the beauty of a breath, right? It breaks the cycle of the ego, of the patterning that we have in our reactivity or in our hurt. Take a breath. And I reminded myself, okay, if anger is covering something up, what is it? And I could start as I was walking, feeling the helplessness. I stayed with the helplessness for a while because it didn't feel like there was much I could do. And then I had this wild memory of my childhood. I was a kid that loved the yard. So, I mean, I should have been in the Guinness World Book of Records because I was the kid that said, I'll do the yard. I loved the yard. But occasionally, mowers break down or you run out of gas or whatever. And my parents were, what would you say, not very invested in supporting me in doing that. So the mower could be broken for 3 weeks. And as I felt that, my heart started to hurt. Now that, and really hurt. And I wasn't familiar in those times of feeling hurt in my heart. And you can understand why. A kid can't really tolerate much hurt like that. So instead, frustration came up. And as I was kind of going, this seems kind of tangential, right? I mean, we've got a railing that's not working very well, and I'm back feeling the helplessness of parents that were not as attuned to the yard as I was. And I'm watching my beautiful yard turn to, 10-inch grass and not looking so great. And you know how grass then gets yellow at the bottom and, oh. Plus, I'm not feeling heard or that I'm important. Like, am I a nobody here? I do the yard every week. And why isn't someone jumping to it? Let's get that mower fixed. But as I looked at it, I called the contractor several times and said, I really think we need to rethink the plan on this stairway. It's just not working. Never called me back, just sent another crew. And I'm thinking, oh, so I don't feel like I matter. I don't feel like what I do has any purpose. And I just sat there with my heart and with that young boy and said, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I must have sat with him for like 20 minutes. And then it just occurred to me, I'm going to call the contractor again. He didn't pick up. But I could feel a different tone in my voice. I wasn't so irritated. I was more, hey, you're paying these guys. It's really not working. We need to get together. We'll see what happens this next week. I encourage you not to hold your breath. I tell Stuart, I think we should move out of the mountains because this is driving me nuts. It's contractor mentality in the mountains. So breathing. Remind yourself to breathe. Remember that when you're triggered, you're never breathing. Isn't that interesting? Like when we're triggered, we have a very shallow breath. Sometimes we're holding our breath. Why is that? Because breath confuses the ego. Oxygen stirs things up. It doesn't like to be stirred up. You can feel disoriented if you do a lot of breath work. So breathe. You want that ego a little bit disrupted. And then let's talk about meditation. We talk a lot about meditation, right? And for years, I fell into the trap of thinking you had to do meditation perfectly. And that meant controlling your thoughts. You're always supposed to be right on, the focus of your breath, or you're supposed to not have any thoughts at all. And it was pardon me, but shit show. It was a mess. Because what I didn't understand was that meditation is about really allowing what is happening without getting attached to it, without getting knocked over by it. Here's another great quote, I think. Oh, shoot. Oh, here it is. The object of meditation isn't to change ourselves, to throw out the old and bring in the new. It's about making friends with ourselves, meeting each and every part of ourselves with curiosity and compassion. This doesn't mean simply that we must tolerate the difficult stuff that comes up in meditation. It means that we have to explore it in order to become deeply familiar with our inner world. So what that looks like to me now is when something comes up, I allow it to come up. And if it catches me, then I celebrate when I wake up from the catch. Have you ever felt like you were 50 miles down the road in your meditation, thinking about the grocery list or whatever else you have to, or your boss being angry at you or whatever it is? So you just come back. Oh, that caught me. I might want to, inquire into why that caught me, but for now, I'm back. And to celebrate that you're back in the moment. You can feel your butt in the chair. You can feel your feet on the ground. It's, again, a process of coming back to the moment. And remember, all power is held in the moment. So see if you're one of those people that's going, oh, I can't meditate. Well, try it again tomorrow morning, just for 5 minutes. And watch. Don't try and manage it. Don't try and control it. Just watch what's happening in your meditation. Now, notice that in that quote, it said, you don't just have to suffer through it. One of the things that we're going to discover through this process is that there are a lot of hurts, there are a lot of unsolved things in our consciousness, and you can get the impression that you just have to stick with it because there must be some kind of learning there, right? And there is. Let me give the example of a student I had years ago. She had a boss that yelled at her. Not all the time, but freely yelled at her. And it was great because she came from a family that yelled at her, and it brought it right back up in her face to look at the impact of it, which it had quite a negative impact on her. It really destroyed a lot of self-confidence in her. But that began to heal, and there was a certain confidence that was rising in her, right? And I loved it when one day she said, he yelled at me the other day, and I'm not finding anything new to explore about it. That's a key point, right? So I'm going to look for a new job. Now, this is the key. You have to stay long enough to get the gift of it, right? How many of us go, I'm out of there. That bastard, he yelled at me. Well, if you're having a reaction, you want to look into the reaction because you're not resting. You're reacting. You're not breathing deeply. It's shallow. And we want to be free. We want to be open-hearted, free, so that what life presents to us we can claim. But if we're just running from what triggers our hurts and our woundedness and our insecurities, then we're getting nowhere. One last thing. Oh, shoot, maybe not. What say you, Anne, keeper of the time? I just want to say one last thing that I found incredibly powerful in this section. It's about courageous presence. And of course, if you've done any work like this, you know that it takes courage. Like, for example, when I paused and found my hurting heart, it's not comfortable to sit with a hurting heart. And yet, it's tolerable. And I recognize that there was a kid in there that never had anyone to sit with him. He never even told anyone he had a hurting heart, back in those days. I love the fact that kids tell us that now. My heart hurts. So, Frank tells a story that I think is so much bigger than our own internal process. It's about a couple who has another couple over. They both have young boys, maybe like 4 or 5 year old, probably 5 or 6 year olds. And at one point, the wife says, "Where are the boys?" And the husband say, "Oh, I'm sure they're fine. Just relax." But then one of the boys comes running up, and the mother charges out into the front yard, and her son has been hit by a hit-and-run driver. And he dies that evening. And you can imagine, well, can we even imagine unless you've been through that? But the heartache and the anger and the beating yourself up, right? Because she had this sense that she should go check and didn't. So the next day, she's all in that when the doorbell rings. And it is the guy that hit her child, hit her son. They don't go into the details, but I'm imagining that he saw it on the news or he read it in the paper, because he came and he said, "I had no idea I hit anything. I was distracted. I was running off to my daughter's rehearsal dinner for her wedding, and I am so sorry, beyond sorry for what's happened." And it's fascinating. So this is where the courage starts. One, can you imagine the courage it took to show up at her door, right? But the other thing is that see, the ego wants to make it black and white. Either it's all my fault or it's all your fault. So there was some of this beating up in her. I really should have gone and checked on the boys. When he apologized and she could feel the authentic nature of it, her anger melted in that moment. She said that there were plenty of other angry moments later, but that's part of grief. But it melted, and in the courageous heart, in the courageous presence, she was able to come to a center place where she went, you have responsibility and I have responsibility. And from there, she reported to Frank that she was able to move on with her life, that she came to some kind of resolution that was more heart-centered than on the surface saying life is bad or blah, 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 right? So what does this resting have to do with anything, really, when you think about it? And as I contemplated that, what I got to see was actually learning how to rest is brilliant for us, because in our busyness, we're really covering things up deep inside of us. And if we're going to take it on, and not effort through trying to rest, but really take it on and allow ourselves to understand why it's so hard for us to rest, we are also going to get deep into what limits us, our hurts, our feelings of insecurity, the messages, the judgments and the messages that go on in our heads. And it frees us up to claim whatever the beauty of the moment is offering us, which will be fresh and new and alive. And when death comes to take us, death will find us very much alive.
Last time we were here, we debuted a song that we had just written. Actually, the music had been with us for many years, but we decided to put a couple of Sanskrit chants, and we're going to have them up and you guys can sing along with us. The first one is Om Shanti, which means peace to all. And the second one is Om Mani Padme Hum, which the gist of it is the lotus that blooms from the mud, and it signifies our awakening. So please join us.
You always bring us such delightful, inspiring, uplifting music. Thank you all for being here with us. Such an enhancement. Let's start with our purpose statement. Let's say it together. We commit to increasing our spiritual awareness, diversifying our community, manifesting our highest potential, and positively impacting the world. And I see so many faces as I look out here who are doing so much within our community to fulfill that purpose statement. And everyone here is so grateful for all that each of you contribute. One of the ways that we contribute is financially, and this is the time in our service when we invite you to do that. So as the offering bags go through the sanctuary, we bless everything that you are sharing with us, and in particular right now, the financial blessings. And while that is going on, let's say our offering blessing first. God's love has always met and will always meet all my needs. I give freely, I receive abundantly, and I am grateful. And as we send the bags through the sanctuary, let's turn and give a wave to our online viewers. Hello out there in virtual land. We're so glad that you can join us in this way when the technology works. I say that after a week of a lot of technology glitches. Okay, so 30th anniversary is next weekend. Woohoo! And our very creative Piri Jensen came up with the idea to create this basket of wine and chocolates. And let me just tell you that her husband, Dave Chasen, is a wine connoisseur. So these are good bottles of wine. Anyone who purchases their tickets, whether you already did it or you do it today, by today will be entered into a raffle for this basket. So if you haven't purchased your tickets yet, look for me. I'll try to wedge myself into Foss Hall. I'm not quite sure there'll be enough room. I'll be somewhere in that vicinity with my laptop if you need help with that. And then we'll find out who our lucky winner is. But the 30th anniversary has all kinds of things planned. And if you can lend a helping hand, if you are a person who is comfortable getting on a tall ladder to hang some banners in here or in Foss Hall, I'm looking for you. So please come speak to me. Thank you so much. Compassionate communication. The first all-day or daytime workshop was yesterday, and got some rave reviews from the little bit of feedback that I got. And there are 2 more that you can register for. You register for one of the workshops and as many of the practice sessions as you like. And I can just tell you from having had my life journey, practice makes progress. You all know this. So think about signing up for as many of the practice sessions as possible to help yourself find a different way of communicating that's more effective and more peaceful for everyone. We will be decorating for Christmas on Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend, right after the service. And so any helping hands will be very, very welcome then. And we'll be doing some inside and some outside. So we're hoping for pleasant weather for the outside part. And you don't need to sign up, but if you know you're going to be there and you want to mention that to me, that can be helpful as well. And now I would like to invite up George Jane, one of our founders, and he is going to tell you about another ongoing group, because we realized we overlooked this in our recent series of ongoing groups. George is going to tell you about the weekly prayer for Columbine.
Sue handed out a questionnaire to the founders of things she wanted us to talk about or think about next weekend. And one of the questions said something about our vision. And my vision is based on the idea that was expressed, I guess, by Rosemary Fillmore Ray when she said, the world needs unity. My vision is that this church serve as many people as are needed in Boulder. And this church has actually served people in Russia, Africa, South America, and all over the world. Our church has helped, has been noticed, or done things. The first Sunday we had here, our first Sunday, a bunch of us men had to go out and shovel snow. There was a time when we were meeting at the bridge school, I used to come in and mop the floor and set up chairs. I don't do that anymore. My teeth are a little bit longer than they were. So what I do, my biggest thing that I do is hold the vision for this church. But like I said, I'm long in tooth and so are the rest of the founders. And we're trying to get a way to make other people help hold the vision. So every Sunday after every service, and we missed a couple for various reasons, we have a little prayer group that meets usually in the south end of Foss Hall, and we sit down and we do a short prayer. It takes about 5 minutes plus visiting time. And what I'm asking you to do is to notice Colleen or myself or whoever's doing it. You might see us carrying a little envelope. I didn't bring it in here. A plastic envelope that has a prayer and information in it. And it's a responsive reading loosely based on the mastermind group, our prayer, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, George. And so this is a commitment that you can make each Sunday. You can drop in, you can be there for a couple weeks, maybe be gone. But just anytime you see that group gathered around the table in Foss Hall, you are welcome. You are welcome to help hold that vision. So thank you, George, for sharing that with us. And just before I mention our prayer chaplains, I did want to say today the Good Grief group is meeting downstairs. So if you need information about that, let me know. That's going to be at 11:45. And who are our prayer chaplains today? Brooke and Gretchen, thank you so much. And they will be available in the sanctuary for you to unburden yourself if that's needed or to celebrate something. And we're very, very grateful for their ongoing service. And now let's stand for our peace song.